Hey guys, welcome back to another DvZ map making update video. This is video number 4. Yes, so since last time quite a lot has been done. Yeah, so first thing is, well, the sky is now blue and the ground is now gray. Well, it was gray before, but now it's a light gray with a nice cobbled road texture. It's very nice. There's also double stone slab sidewalks and lamps. That's probably the first thing you've seen. That's like the big thing that's changed, because this is the whole map right there. It's those two things, but also quite a few other things. For instance, this bridge here, some facades are done, the cathedral now has a nice little garden area, the bank is done, there's a lobby now, second shrine has a bunch of stuff, oh yeah, and that's right, third shrine is a big freaking castle. Yeah, that's right, very exciting stuff. All of that and more in this video. So, first up here, the bridge here. This is down by first shrine. You got this nice bridge here that comes across from mob spawn over here. Comes up on like this, you know, nice and simple top here. Very much like the painted ground. That is also brand sparkling new. Lamps along the bridge for lights. Got these kind of pillars here that are in a similar style to the wall over there. Similar style. Yeah. There's a good chance I might change it a little bit, the bridge design, at least underneath here. I might make this into an arch as opposed to what it is now. But that remains to be seen. Also, what has changed is this little area over here. This is a new path for monsters. Monsters will run along this side of the river, hop on down here, run out across this boat, and swim a little. Pretty much every path besides the bridge for the monsters, it involves swimming across the river a little, but this shortens that swim time by a significant amount. You hop up here onto this boat here, and come in here to a bit of gravel. That's a little dark. What's that? That's that Moody. No, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, so it's got some gravel in here, a little bit of oil, chests. Yeah, it's a pretty nice little boat here. Come up here onto the main deck. Pretty plain and simple. Got a little captain's quarter. And this area. Yeah. Very nice. Anyways, this boat comes out onto this dock that has been here for a long time. Head into Shrine that way. One thing that's very special about this boat, well, not very special, but something important to note, is that this boat is quite lightly bedrocked. It only has bedrock underneath this floor here, so that if this boat does get destroyed, it's just there's still always going to be a platform here, so that the dwarves couldn't just flood this and negate the fact that this is a platform for monsters to stand on to reduce swim time. But part of the reason why it's only the floor, not the walls, also is that in case, the dwarves are holding down this staircase pretty well, monsters can just break this wall right here and just be like, hey, I don't care about that, I'm just gonna go under this dock here. So, extra paths for the monsters to travel upon. So that's the main alternative path to the bridge, besides, well, the one from last time through the wall over there. Also, there is, of course, you can just swim across. And it's actually not that bad. It only adds like a minute. I mean, I guess a minute is a fairly long time in terms of distance. But you can swim across this river too as a monster. And it's pretty nice because you can dive down underneath, and that makes it pretty hard for dwarves to see you or shoot you or stuff of that likeness. And also, if you swim while underneath the bridge, that's an extra layer of cover, because when you're up here, you don't have a very good shot under that bridge. And if you're on the bridge, well, can't see anything that's going on underneath there. You may have caught a glimpse of it, but the main gravel pit here now has gravel. That's right, it's actually a gravel pit. It had that much gravel. What was it? 100,000? 100. It's 1,100. Yeah. 1,100 gravel, which is plenty for your average game, unless everybody's like, I want 10 stacks, then you might be a bit out of luck. But that's a lot of that doesn't happen. This is plenty of gravel. 10,000 and up is my rule of thumb. My measuring stick. Anyways, that's the only real change up here. By first shrine, besides, the paths. First off, I just want to kind of show off the alleyways again. I know we looked at it last time, but with the new road stuff, it's a very different feeling. I'm going to go left because I like the left path more. I put a couple lamps in here as well. Just one or two. There's far less lamps in the alleyways than on the actual street, but there are a couple. That's where it connects out. And right here, this is a fairly significant change, is a little bit of an armor smith. Right here in the alleyways. So, if you don't get armor right when you spawn, when you get down to first shrine to start building up defenses and whatever, and you see the Jimmy, oh, they don't have armor yet. You can just come on right on over here, instead of running all the way to third where the other toolsmith is. Instead of running all the way to third, you can just run right back up to here, make some armor, go armor up some Jimmies. It's always nice to have an extra armor smith near first shrine, just in case, any Jimmies get missed or whatever. Anyways, this is the next little area. Pretty nice little design here. I like this corner with the lamp on it. Nice little spot. I enjoy this railing design. It's very, I don't know, it fits in with this Victorian-esque style thing that I've got going. Anyways, I'm gonna pop out over here, out onto Main Street. Main Street is, at the moment, fairly dull. That's one of the things I've still got to do is, go in, populate the terrain with things that, make the world seem more alive, like it's actually lived in. Because it's a city. People live in a city. Oh, also, from last time I should note, there is no second alleyway path. I decided not to do that. And that is for the better. Yeah. Anyways, turn around here. Second shrine may look a little different. Don't mind that. That's just... I'll get to that in a while. It's not... It won't be there in the final version of the map. But, second shrine right here. It's got quite a bit different here. Now it's no longer a wide open space between the bank and the cathedral. It's now got a bunch of market stands, because this is the market shrine. All of these just got various things, all stuff you can kind of collect tools on. You know, in case you don't get it when you spawn, you can come down here, grab bows, juices, swords, axes, shovels, whatever. You can find almost anything at the market. Although you can't, there's no saws here at the market, so you can't make mortar and stuff here. Well, you can make mortar with the oil, but you can't get the bowls or sticks to make it with. You understand my meaning. Anyways, here at the actual shrine, nice little enclosed area here with a little obsidian blockingness. I don't know exactly what to call it. Just some little walls, you know. It's kind of nice little central area here. So that's nice. Also, over here by Second Shrine, if you walk down this little path here, you come over here. There's a little garden wall here. And you walk into a nice little garden next to the cathedral. It's very scenic and pleasant, relaxing. You get a nice little park bench, sit down under the tree, enjoy yourself. I've also got these birch fence trees. I like it nice and skinny trees. Minecraft, I often find it has the problem where I can't get these trees to be thin enough to make them look young. Minecraft is good for making old to medium-aged trees, but you can't make like young trees that are, you know, potted very easily. I mean, obviously I did it right here, but you know, not too easy. Over here, get a bit of a graveyard because, well, people die and you're next to a church. You're going to have a graveyard next to a church. It's on the small side because obviously not everybody's buried here in the whole city. This is kind of probably for more upper class people. But that graveyard's there with a nice little tree centerpiece. So yeah, that pretty much does it for this end of the... That pretty much does it for the Cathedral Gardens. Across the market from the Cathedral Gardens over here, you've obviously got this, the bank vault. I showed this off in episode, well, update number 1. But it's actually complete now. Got to put a bit of a green dome on the back. Something special about this dome is that it's not a perfect sphere. In fact, it's a bit more like a polygon. It's an octagon even. Kind of come up here, kind of see that. Yeah, it's this was a perfect sphere dome with the white edges, but looking at some pictures of some Victorian style domes, I realized sky is still black in some spots. That'll be fixed, and it's mostly just outside the map anyways. But I was looking online at some Victorian style architecture domes specifically, and I noticed that, you know, they don't always do perfect spherical domes. Well, not perfect spheres, but they don't always do perfect spherical domes. They do kind of a bit more angular, like between these connecting joints, it's flat. I mean, it's still there's still a curve to it, but it's kind of flat along the sides like this. It's kind of hard to describe, but you're looking at it, so I don't really need to describe it too much. But this is kind of something that I saw in Victorian domes. I don't really know why they did that or whatever, but I thought it looked nice and was a cool idea that I would like to implement. Especially since over there in the Gothic dome, that's spherical. So, something else to differentiate the two. Although you won't be seeing that one as much as that one. But it's there in case you look. So, another big thing about the bank is it has gold in it. That's right, big heaping pile of gold. It's 2,995, almost 3,000. I think this is a fair amount for a 3-shrine map, especially considering the fact that it's all very easy to mine. It's just sitting here. It's not mixed with stone or gravel or anything. If you mix your gold with the stone or gravel, that makes it harder to mine, so it's okay to have a little bit extra to reward the dwarves for, you know, making it difficult in the first place. So it's all pretty easy to access, so there might be a little less than normal. Or maybe that's average. That's average. I don't know. I think that's a decent amount of gold. Anyways, the biggie, the big thing that has happened since last time is this fella up here. Yep, that's right. They're the big badass Gothic-esque cathedral. Not cathedral. Oh my god. Castle. The Gothic-esque castle. This is a cathedral. I always want to say cathedral when I look at this, or especially when I mention the word Gothic. But no, it's a castle. It's very obvious that it's a castle. This is the big thing that has been built since last time. It's final shrine, and it's amazing looking, or at least so I say so myself. Anyways, you got this nice little pathway here, kind of long. Come up on here, come through this tiny little choke point there, along here, into the castle, little entranceway here, into the courtyard of the castle, where the shrine exists. This shrine is called the Celestial Tree for the reason that there is a tree here of magical nature. It's obviously not a normal tree made out of wood. It is made out of some magical substance that is something to do with stars, I'd imagine. It's definitely not just stained yellow glass with a beacon running through it. It's magical. It's just, you know, it's magical, so don't worry about it. So that's this main third shrine here. It's a nice little design. It's also got, the grass is also a different tint from the normal grass. I'm going to give myself a sword so I can point. Yes. So this grass is a different color from this grass, you know. A bit more golden and special, cool looking. Here is the door to the castle. There's a cloud going through the castle right now. Ignore that. But yes, there's this door that leads into the castle, and if you open the door, it's just some bedrock. Yeah, there you don't actually go in the castle. This is the last shrine, and I'm okay with that. The city, this map is about a city, not about the castle. I mean, the castle is badass and awesome, but it's about the city more than it is about the castle. Something that should be noted about this shrine is that I will be putting a barrier roof probably around here. I will cover this whole area, making it so that any monsters that come up here, they have to go through these entrances here. They can't just go over the walls if they're like a wolf or a skeleton or whatever. They can't just go over and kind of circumnavigate the dwarves' defenses in that way. Because this is Final Shrine. It deserves to be a bit dwarf-favored. So I don't want that to be I don't want that to be what happens with the dwarves. So yeah. Speaking of dwarf-favored, these choke points, this one specifically, it's very narrow. That's particularly nasty. But this narrowness is very, very much on purpose. I've been planning on having a narrow choke point here for the whole development process of this map. Because, well, as you can tell, this is a very low wall here, as well as it being an open kind of cliff wall here. So, dwarves defending here, well, if they're trying to defend here, defend off the monsters, slab out monsters, it's very easy for them to get knocked down here. And it can kind of suck to get knocked down here, because you're pretty close to mob spawn. Mob spawn's right there. This is like a 5-10 second walk to right here. And unless you pillar up, you have to go all the way around that, which that's a pretty long distance to walk without, backup potentially. So, and it can be difficult to pillar up on Final Shrine because it's mostly monsters at that point, and if you get stuck alone by getting knocked down here, for instance, there's a good chance you're gonna die. And yeah, so this is a very risky choke point to hold, not checkpoint. So it will probably mostly only be held by heroes or confident dwarves who are smart enough to build up a real wall here. There's a bit of a cobblestone wall here, fence going along this edge here to kind of, make the dwarves think about putting something there. So it also kind of helps differentiate the edge of this cliff from the grass in the background. Break it up a little bit. See right there, you can kind of see right there the grass kind of blends in. Kind of looks like it just kind of continues on. But this wall kind of helps break that up a little bit. But yeah, this kind of helps also indicates to dwarves, oh, I should build a wall here to, make sure people don't get thrown out. The other weakness of that defense, besides being very risky for dwarves, is that wolves can completely bypass it. Wolves will very easily be able to just leap right on up here, circumnavigate all of that defense going on right there, and just go straight into Shrine right here. So, there's also, because of that, making this kind of like a weaker choke point, but still very, very much a good choke point, but it has its weaknesses. There is also this area of choke points right here. You've got these two entrances to weaken the strength of the choke point, because this means you have to put down 2 slabs, maintain 2 slabs, and without, cooperation of players, that can make it extra difficult, and also just more difficult to maintain, just because there's 2 fronts to defend. And then after these 2, it obviously comes into this one main little choke point here, but the main weakness of this is that it's on a diagonal, so it makes it a lot harder to slab off effectively if it's on a diagonal like this. At least from what I've I don't know if I've observed this, but I guess that's more theoretical than anything. But that makes I would imagine that it makes much harder to slab off a choke point that is on a diagonal, especially one of this particular width, than something of, that's actually aligned with an axis. So, okay, that's enough of defensive talk. Back here, this is actually where I want dwarf spawn to be. You spawn like here, like this, looking out like that, kind of see. You're looking straight out at the exit. Your spawn right here kind of makes it feel like you came out of the castle kind of dealio, and now you're going to go defend the city. It's kind of what's going on for the dwarves. When you spawn, something that I like in maps a lot is to have your armor be right next to spawn. or at least very close to spawn, so that all the Jimmies can come file in here and make armor or get armored if they don't want to make armor, or people are already doing it. You know, just get out your pickaxe, get out your pickaxe, make your armor, armor some people up. Having it right at spawn allows you to, well, you get more dwarves all at once because everybody's still all kind of close together, clumped up at this point, instead of spread out, building defenses or collecting resources at various places throughout the map. This is like the one part of the game where all the dwarves are actually close together. And then also, this allows dwarves to get a head start on making armor. The faster you can start making armor, the faster dwarves get armored up. And without, if you don't start making it right at the beginning, you have to go find it and then start making armor and then mining the gold blocks and then putting it on, as opposed to, you know, immediately coming over here, taking a right turn, making some armor. So it's pretty different. On the other side of the courtyard, there's a little defensive, little barracks training grounds here. You got some dummies which you can hit with your sword or shoot with your bow, which can be acquired right here. That's right, you get your weapons right here. So that's nice. But I mean, there's plenty of places to get that kind of stuff, especially down right here in the market. But you know, having resources right at the beginning is always nice, but not always. That side is not so important as this side to have the extra resources available. Speaking of resources, that we saw the main gravel pit a little while ago, but there's a bit of an auxiliary gravel pit with 1,000 gravel, so that's like 8 stacks, I believe, off the top of my head, if I remember correctly. I checked before, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. But it's a bit of extra gravel. Predominantly, I have that there so that dwarves who want to build up defenses here at final, this wall right here, this is what I'm talking about, making a wall right here. These dwarves can, you know, come in, mine some gravel there, not have to worry about mining gravel from first, especially if, you know, the game is already in progress and you want to build some defenses back at final. You can just snag it from right there and build the defenses here. And it's also pretty close to second, so if you wanted to build defenses at second, you could use it for second, although I intended it to be used for third shrine. But you can use it for whatever you want. As well as, you know, it's good for grave diggers. I mean, as I was saying earlier, probably don't want to be down here since you're pretty close to mob spawn, and it's kind of hard to get back up. But gravediggers come down here, mine gravel, and, you know, fight a bit more here. Speaking of this cliff for a second time, I'd like to quickly mention that the fact that this is actually just plain old bedrock right here, for a cliff, as opposed to, you know, stone or something, is 100% on purpose. And it's not because I don't want to, you know, fill it in to make it look nice or whatever. I mean, I think bedrock, the new bedrock texture looks nice in and of itself. But, it's really like that because, well, as a monster, you can't dig this out and make a little staircase. And something I really wanted to do is make it so that this choke point here was only weak to wolves. And I mean, I guess it is a little bit weak to gobos, because gobos can boombox pillar up, but first off, players do not often do that with gobo boxes. And two, those only last for like 5 seconds. I don't know what the fuse time on a gobo box is, but it's not very long. So really, this is only weak to wolves because of the fact that this isn't stone. On many maps, you can just, with natural terrain, just dig out the side and climb up on here and just, you know, not do any of that. And while that's kind of fine, my intention is this to only really be weak to one type of mob, so that this choke point does have some purpose. Otherwise, that would be 100% useless, because it'd be useful for like a second, and then a mob would just make a staircase there, and then it would be pointless. So yeah, that's actually something that I kind of learned from Magical Mishap, since that's one of the few maps that actually, you know, just does plain old bedrock walls everywhere, which I've seen some people say that that was lazy. But you know what? It's actually, it can be a very interesting mechanic, not being able to actually climb the walls of natural terrain. It actually makes mobs much more funneled than they normally are, to force them to not be able to make staircases in the sides of cliffs or whatnot. So I just found that interesting. Anyways, I guess there's 2 more things I'd like to show off. First of which is that, well, these facades are done. Yeah, just a bit of a line of facades abutting the cliff edge here that we've talked so much about. There's also new facades. There's, well, actually, this. You guys didn't see this either since last time. There's this line of facades here, as well as the facades over here by the graveyard. That's all new as well. So yeah, and actually that's pretty much all of the facades that need to be done on this map, besides the ones on the mob side of the river. But that's probably one of the next things I'm going to be doing. I'll get to it, basically. So that's having all these facades done is actually a huge portion of the map done. Honestly, the facades were the majority of the work on this map, which I guess with DvZ maps, since these are normally cliff faces, like that can be, cliff faces are pretty easy to do normally on DvZ maps, unless you're crazy like me and you want to build the entire thing by hand, block by block. But cliff faces are normally pretty easy to do. Get out your world edit brush or use world painter, whatever it is. Either way, it's pretty easy to just quickly make up a cliff mountain and then texture it in real nice and make it look pretty. That happens really fast on most DvZ maps. But since I was crazy and did this concept instead, it obviously took up way more time of the development process of this map. So yeah. And really, the one other thing about that I've got left to do with the train, besides the mob side, I'm not going to forget that, is the rooftops here, which is probably going to be the last thing I do on this map. Might be actually something where I ask some people to come in and help me out, because it's going to be a lot of rooftops. Like, literally, from here to... Okay, see these emerald blocks here in the sky? These emerald blocks represent where I will be putting barrier blocks. So, pretty much from here to about, like, I don't know, 10 chunks that way, probably, which is 160 blocks. All of that is going to be rooftops, and of course all the way up to the edge of here too. So that's a lot of work to do, and it's going to be fairly monotonous. Fairly easy. Doing rooftops like these are pretty easy to do. Just make a rectangle and then do a little world edit to fill this in with stone and andesite. But it's gonna be a lot of rooftops to do, and that's gonna be very time consuming, and yeah. Anyways, that's enough about rooftops and facades and all that garbage that makes this map so special. I've got the one last thing to talk about is that I have done the lobby. It is up here in the castle top, which is kind of unique also. That is actually within the map's confines. Don't worry, it's very thoroughly bedrocked, or at least it will be. And also, it's out of the play space. Once, pretty much, you're only going to be down here on ground level, so everything probably above that window right there can probably all just be, you know, block protected. That's fine. And it will, so you don't need, the fact that it's actually inside, I think will be absolutely fine. I don't think it'll cause any problems. Anyways, come in through the window here. This is the lobby right here. Basically. Pretty nice. Part of the reason why it's in the map is because I like the idea of, from the lobby, you can kind of look out over the map and see some stuff. Partially that's also why I want the rooftops, because you will be able to see the rooftops from here, for sure. But yeah, you get a little sneak peek of what's going to happen down in the map, what it's going to look like. Get a little excited, stuff like that. That's all barriered off, so don't worry about that either. I don't know where the start point of the lobby is. Maybe down here. Maybe up here. Not sure. But also, earlier, when I was talking about Third Shrine, I mentioned that, well, the idea is that the dwarves are coming out of the castle. Well, they're in the castle and they're waiting for the game to start. So, it kind of helps play into that, where you're inside the castle hanging out, and then you go outside and you defend the castle. So, it's a very nice little lobby, if I do say so myself. There's these doors. There's also one on the other side, like that we'll get to in a second. They lead to nice little areas to hang out in. A little cake shrine right here. So, you know, come in, relax, hang out on the cake shrine with your buds, I guess. I don't know. Or you can just pretend to eat the cake and be happy and content. On this side, something a little less happy and joyful is parkour. Yeah, this is kind of it's a 3-part parkour course, this being the first one, and I failed the first jump already. Yeah. This is area 1. Oh, and I get a little excited. Don't judge my parkour abilities, all that. I'm recording right now. It's a little different. So, yeah, anyways. Oh my god. This is the beginning of the parkour course. I like lobbies that have parkour, you know. Something to do while you're waiting. And also somebody on the subreddit relatively recently was saying that they wanted more entertainment in lobbies, so I will comply with that. I will make fun lobbies. Yeah, this is the second part of the parkour course. First room is mildly challenging. It's not too bad though. Most of the jumps are they're pretty easy to do, but you know, kind of get you warmed up. This second room is a bit more challenging. Most of the jumps are average jumps until you get to here, and then, well, you jump from here to, let's see if I can do it. No, I can't. You jump from there to there, which that's a pretty tough jump. You gotta jump at like the very last second. It's pretty tough in and of itself. And then right afterwards you gotta do this jump, which that jump, that jump gets me almost all the time. So, yeah, that's a pretty tough jump right there. Then after that, this jump here, you come up here, hop down onto this, then you hop into here, into this little balcony, and then you come into here, and this is kind of like, this is like the last little final stretch where you kind of get to relax after completing this annoyingly difficult parkour jumpy bit right here. This bit primarily. After you beat this room, it's kind of like this is the victory run. You come in here and you make these very easy jumps that I failed like twice. It's a little annoying with the fire in your face, but it's just that, just annoying. The jumps are fairly easy to do, like so, unless you're doing terrible like me right now. But basically, that's all pretty easy jumps to make. And then you come up here and you get to stand up on this platform here and show off how good you are at parkour. So that's the only way to get up onto this platform, is by going through the crazy parkour course, and then you get a nice little centerpiece in the lobby where you get to stand up here and everybody gets to be jealous of your parkour abilities. So, I don't know. Nice little reward for going through that hell. Anyways, I'm just up here on the platform that I said to ignore earlier. This platform is one of those things that I build near the end of the map development process. I just make a little floaty thing up in the sky with a sign that I can put signs on. To kind of, make a little checklist. I add signs whenever I think of something that I need to do, and then I break a sign whenever I complete it. So, I only do this when I'm near the end of the map development process, which I'm starting to get there, actually. There's really only these things left to do of the map. I mean, it will still certainly take quite a while to do, probably another couple weeks, especially with all these rooftops. That's going to be the bulk of the time, I feel. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that making all those rooftops is going to be the bulk of this project. So yeah, look forward to this map being done in the near future. Don't expect it tomorrow, obviously. I just said a couple weeks. It's going to be a while still, but it's definitely at a point where, yeah, this is finishable. So, it's pretty exciting stuff. Anyways, that's really going to do it for this update. And actually, I think this may be the last update. There's not really enough here to constitute making a whole nother update video before the actual tour of the map. So, this is the last update video. If I make one more, that might happen, but I don't think it's likely. I'm pretty sure this is the last update video. So, look forward to, in a couple weeks, this map getting posted on the subreddit and the video tour going out on my channel. And yeah, very, very exciting times. Anyways, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this and all the previous installments of this series. If you have watched it, of course. If you haven't, you should, because I talk about all the stuff in the map here, and it's all very interesting. But yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this, and I will see you guys next time.